All right, we're going to get started here. I want to thank everyone for attending this morning. My name is Mary. I'm part of the sales team here at KTL Solutions. Your presenter today on the new Power BI is Barry Crowell. He is a senior business consultant and runs our BI department here at KTL Solutions. Today we're going to be going over the new features of Microsoft Power BI, and we're going to talk about who in the organization can benefit from these, and we're also going to be doing a demonstration of some of the best new features. And then, of course, we're going to get all your questions answered today.
Thanks, Mary. And so really what's new on Power BI? It's come out of the beta cycle, and now it is basically into production. And what you really have from Power BI perspective is the website for sharing information, which is the cost model depending on how much you're sharing. But then you have the designer or the desktop version, which helps you in designing your visualization. And you can actually, this is free to download, and I'll show you where you can get this later. And you can also share it. Anybody that has the desktop in your organization can view any visualizations that you may share, say via SharePoint or a network drive, and they can open it up and see the data as long as they have security privileges into, if you're having live connections into your SQL database or analysis view. So we're going to look at some of the new connectors that have come out with the desktop version of what you can get into, some transformations or visualization charts that have come about with the new version that is in general release, authoring improvements, talk about the direct connection to the tabular model of analysis services, and then how you can publish stuff to Power BI site. So basically your data connections that have recently come out, and there's a lot of them, and this is just a snapshot of some of the newer ones. Obviously, you can get at Dynamics through your SQL environment, Salesforce.com, Acumatica, your analysis services, Active Directory, obviously the Azure web environment websites, and then Oracle MySQL. Pretty much anything that from a database perspective that you can do an ODBC connection to, you can get to. The good thing about using the Power BI website is after you published it, you put it up onto the website to share with people, that they actually have a Windows, iOS, or Android mobile app that you can download on your phone or iPad tablet and view the visualizations on the go. So that is really nice functionality that's been added into the website that you can sign up for, and along with Office 365. So who can really benefit from the Power BI, which departments, which roles? Obviously, when we're doing some visualization dashboarding, you got the marketing, sales team. You can really drill down and analyze some of the stuff, and we'll look at one of the visualizations that I did recently here at KTL. Customer support and key decision makers, and it's really trying to enhance the self-service model of business intelligence, so that your general business user, analysis, BI professionals, and developers can all use it. But what Microsoft is really trying to do is get it down to the line level end user type of perspective, so that they can design, enhance, and share their visualizations. Because who knows the data better than anybody than the people that are working with it on a day-to-day basis. So let's look a little at the the tool, the designer, and what it can do for us. So first thing is the Power BI website. You would go to the website, and it's just powerbimicrosoft.com is where I can download the desktop. And I have, it basically goes over some of the stuff that it can do on the website. It's a free download, and it also has links to the mobile app that I talked about. And if you want to sign up for the sharing capabilities of the website for your organization, it goes into, there's a free model with limited aspects of it, obviously 1 gigabyte per user, and, the daily is only a daily refresh of the data. And then there's the pro version that has a lot more data storage and is hourly updated from that aspect. And then also you have the blog, which they maintain the Microsoft's division of the Power BI, which gives you a lot of added functionality into learning some of the visualization capabilities. So when I first log into the desktop, this is the screen that I presented, and it really shows me what my recent sources are and get data. And as a first-time user, it has a lot of nice tutorials over here on the right on how to analyze data, Facebook, and how to really start using the tool. So most times when I'm starting a visualization, the first thing I'm going to do is just click on the Get Data aspect of the tool. And here's where all of the things that I can connect to right now. So obviously Excel, CSV, any type of text or XML file, folder, my database, Access, analysis services, and then Oracle and some of the other databases, Azure. I can get stuff from the web. Hadoop, I can actually get through the system, so big data, Facebook, Google Analytics, and then some of the beta stuff that it has right now, from QuickBooks to and all that aspect. So generally, I get the Get Data across the top. If I close out of the screen, I can work on editing queries, and some of my new pages functionality down the left-hand side is the visualization or the report, the data, and then creating relationships against the data. And then across the right-hand side are the charts that are available to me when I have the data into the model, and then the fields I want to base it off of. So here's just a little visualization that I did against our website data, our blog posts, and how that transitioned into spikes or session counts when we were posting that data on a periodic standpoint. And then I also kind of merged that data with our CRM information to say, what blog posts then, maybe got some, new potential clients into the CRM system, and how that related to the information. So one of the first things, and from that perspective, so it was portable to me and I could work with it outside our system, I downloaded the information into really spreadsheets. So I have a couple of spreadsheets that I'm working with from KTL marketing, our revenue, and lead forensics and Google information in CRM. And created those visualizations with that data. So I can see here, where myself is maybe the best author from a standpoint of through all time. When we look at, our LinkedIn, our Twitter feed, Mary and Steve, or Scott and Mary, and you really get a feel for what environment or what a social media post is really hitting it off with somebody. And then, then when we look back over at our CRM data, how that translates into, like say Mary's posts are bringing in a lot of potential clients or estimated revenue that we're looking at. So the easiest thing when I'm going through here is, if I'm connecting to a SQL server, is putting in the SQL Server credentials when I'm establishing a connection, and then any type of database that I want to connect to. This can use your current credentials, and the reason why I'd want to use our current credentials is it really then helps establish security when you're sharing this with somebody else, because then they need access to the back-end data. If you embed the credentials into your connection, then they're really going to have access to any data that you've embedded into there. So, not using it, let's say the SA password or those types of things wouldn't be good. So I can load in my Google information that I've downloaded from the Google site. And then I can turn around and work with the data or manipulate the data from the table perspective to, maybe remove or hide it from the report view so that it makes it more user-friendly when someone's viewing my data. Maybe I'm not going to use the social media network or bounces or new users. So I can hide those things within that visualization and take that out. I can create additional measures off the topic. And what the Power BI or Microsoft has done is added a lot of the DAX capabilities, and that's a programming language that is used with Power Pivot to basically create measures, and it's pretty familiar if you're Excel standpoint, because I can just really that same formula capabilities of the measure, whatever you're naming it, and then would be page views, say, times the number of sessions or any of that perspective. So the same formula aspect that you're pretty much familiar with. There is some nuances with the language, but that perspective is, you really can get up and learning with the language pretty fast if you're used to that type of functionality within Excel. So once I've made any changes to the data, I then can go over, and in this case, basically add a visualization to it. So say I wanted a country, just really drag it over, and I wanted to to see the bounce rates per country. And so there's my bounce rates by country. And it's, since I chose a country as my first data point, it's going to automatically then choose a map to do the visualization of. It's it's trying to help you along the way from a visualization standpoint to really see your visualization and bring it about the easiest way. So if I wanted to do social network and I wanted to see my new users off that social network, I can get a real count on it. I can, from there, I got a nice chart to show where everything is coming from, and a lot of them are not set because of Google's privacy policy. So you're going to have a lot of not sets when you're downloading the data. But from that perspective, you can see that LinkedIn and Twitter gives us a lot of feed into our website. So back at the web page, this is also where I can sign up for Power BI, and I can also take a tour of the site and really show what my data is and how to use that data. So here's the Power BI website, and they give you a retail analysis sample to really show you the capabilities of the product and for you to play around with and how that works from that perspective. So I can really see here all my tiles on my main dashboard, and clicking on one of them brings up the report underneath that shows additional detail within that analysis that I perspective. So from here, I can see where my store sales are from an overview, where it's coming in from a chain or a channel, and what the average sales are or variances, and simply clicking on the home button up here by the Power BI, the yellow square, can bring me back. Hitting the back arrow can bring me back to my top line report. So I have a lot of pre-canned reports also within the environment. So if I wanted to get data right from a perspective here, from a service or my organizational data, I can get that content right from the site. So I can hook up to Google Analytics site and produce the pre-canned filters right to this content page without having to download the Google Analytics stuff to a separate file or database on premise. If I sign up for the Power BI website, then I have the capabilities of basically, they call them content packs, but producing the content packs right to any type of service that I have, Facebook, Google. If I use any of the GitHub or any of those other functionalities, Salesforce, that type of data right into this website. So that's a great benefit from using this website, is it allows me to really get my content packs up and running right away. and it really generates the visualization right off the bat. And I don't have that lead time to do it myself. Some of the downsides of that would be obviously, since they pre-developed these content packs, me being able to change them is very limited into what working with the back-end data. So they've predetermined what data that they're going to pull into, say, Google Analytics. And, if I wanted another column or aspect to look at, then I have to really do it myself and venture away from the content pack that they've provided. So it's a really nice content pack that they've created from the get-go. So really, from that perspective, some of the other things, if I'm up at the website, I can get the latest desktop right from the downloads page. I can change my settings or see where I'm at from a storage perspective. The content packs that we talked about, I can view any content packs. And for this account, I haven't created any content packs, but they are there and I can create them. And then there's a direct link to the Office 365, and also input on features that you'd like to see, and within the Power BI, and also how to get started, community, and feature requests. So that's really a little bit about the Power BI website, the desktop designer, and some of the functionalities that come with the website and the designer, and how it can help your organization from whether it be free or the pro version of the website, so that you can share your information or share it in your organization and start developing data. And really what this does from that aspect is the desktop really gets you the full functioning capabilities of the Power Pivot, the Power Query, the Power Map that is only available in Excel 2013 or 2016. But if your organization hasn't updated your Office environment to those versions, you were limited in doing these visualizations. So now Microsoft has basically taken those capabilities and stripped them outside of Excel, put them into this desktop designer, and given you the functionality for free to create these visualizations. So from there, I'm just going to open it up to any questions that you may have about the product.
We're just going to open up the chat box here and see if we have any questions. Feel free to type them right in there. Looks like we have one question here about mobile capabilities, Barry. Is there full functionality in the mobile app for Apple, Android, and Windows?
Yes, there's full functionality to view visualizations that have already been created. Not designing them, but viewing those functionalities. And, I've played with it on my Apple phone and on my iPad, and I've been able to look at the visualizations on both of those devices rather easy. And some of the reports are rendered different. Like if I went back to the website here and I looked at my financial sample dashboard, where before I would have all these tiles on one main page, it's going to put